Dr. Viviana Coles and our empty nesters are still joining us, these wonderful couples. And before the break, we were talking about you guys you've gone through it. So, Dr. Coles, for those people that are like, all right, my kids are 10 years from, flying the coop, what do you need to start doing at 10 years out?
Well, it's never too early to talk about what your family dynamics you want them to look like after they leave. So creating some family traditions, making sure that you're keeping open lines of communication about all topics within the household, setting some expectations for chores, responsibilities. You want to, foster a sense of independence.
Did you guys do any of this?
Yeah.
We did. We actually always share in the responsibilities because, like I said, she works full time also, so we knew exactly who was going to do what and who took care of what, and we do it now. But unfortunately, we joke and we say since the boys are gone, we've cooked one meal in the house. So,
And you guys planned as well.
Yes, we thought about what life might look like, and actually
Dreamed of it.
In the opposite, since our kids have been gone, we started cooking at home. Our kids were just so busy and so active, we couldn't sit around the dinner table any night of the week. So we now cook at home, and we now enjoy sitting and eating together and being healthy, and it's a whole different stage.
I like what you said about not planning. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's set in stone, but for sure talking about what you would like it to look like. Are we going to have the kids come to us for visitation? Are we going to schedule a holiday break?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? And expect that from them and really ask them for it, because they don't know either. And of course they might say, no, I'm heading off to Tahoe with the friends, but at least putting it out there that you want to be near them and want to be with them, and giving them a chance to do the same back.
And beyond vacations and holiday breaks, it seems like, well, honestly, 5 to 10 years initially, I was thinking, wow, that's really far in advance to be thinking about it. But if your living situation is up in the air, a lot of couples may be thinking, well, do we stay in the family home? Do the kids visit us? Do we move and follow our kids if they're having grandchildren?
Or do we redo their bedroom?
Oh, yeah.
Or not?
Yeah.
Make it a man cave?
Or travel the world and live on an
I
island.
will tell you, I'd be comfortable in a one-bedroom apartment. It's like, because then I wouldn't have to do all the chores we were talking about, and I don't have to worry about things breaking.
Yeah.
But the kids have said it's like that they would scream bloody murder if I sold the house. But I would love to just downsize.
You're ready to
Exactly.
do it.
A lot
Ready.
of couples choose to simplify during this time. This is the time to really kind of get down to the bare bones so that they don't have to deal with the same responsibilities in a 4-bedroom house when they could just have maybe 1 or 2.
I want to live like I did in college. That's what I'm trying to get back to.
So you're getting that chance to focus on yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's an excellent point, because I think a lot of couples, we're talking on the show today about focusing on relationships, but do you find, Viviana, that some people come to you and they feel lonely just because if you're not chasing kids around the house or driving people to soccer practice, you actually, for the first time in maybe a couple decades, have time to get to know your hobbies again?
Who am I?
Right.
Or the single parent that's in that situation of
Exactly.
trying to find their identity.
Well, there's a lot of energy, as we all know as parents, there's a lot of energy that goes into your daily life. Physical energy, emotional energy, psychological energy, and all of a sudden when you don't have a target for that, or not as much of a target, kind of seeping that away from you, you have to turn it somewhere. That energy is going to go somewhere. And for y'all, it sounds like y'all are going in a very positive direction, but that's not always the case. So coming to therapy to process, to make sure you're heading in a positive direction, whether you're by yourself or with someone else, is really important.
So what would be those signs of maybe I do need to go talk to somebody and get some help?
If you find yourself stuck, feeling stuck, literally in your house stuck, or feeling stuck and not knowing what direction you want to go in, or even if you find that there's a wall between you and your partner because your experiences are different, that's when you want to kind of reach out. A lot of times you'll have friends that you can speak to, like y'all are, and kind of commiserate. But if you don't have that, going to a therapist will help you pinpoint very quickly what it is that you need to go and what direction you need to go in next.
And is this all ringing true for our couples here? Do you agree with Dr. Viviana here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I will say that to some degree, like Wendy is working with child advocates, it gives you actually time not just to look in, but to look out. Because when you have your kids, you're very caught up in your own family unit. It may not be you personally, but it's your unit. Once your kids are gone, you actually can start looking out and saying, what difference can I make in this world?
Exactly.
And
Take that energy, and as parents, that you may not be able to exercise every day, all day like you did before, and put it towards other people who need that and who will really appreciate it on a daily basis.
absolutely.
I totally agree.
Okay, let's say there's a teenager at home, junior year in high school. This is about 1 year out, assuming that after high school they move out and go to
calls their
college.
kids junior?
A junior in high school.
Oh, I
Junior in high
thought you meant
school.
like the name junior.
Freshman.
I
Junior is still at home.
Back in the day,
So
we
a
had
junior in high school, and you have about a year until your nest is empty. So
Yeah.
is there a checklist, doctor, that we should be, a list of things we should be doing?
I think as an individual, you need to take a look at yourself and say, okay, what am I going to do the next day? After I've dropped them off or shipped them off, what am I planning on doing the next day?
Did y'all cry the next day?
I cried a little, but
Probably not the next day. No.
Because when reality sinks in, then maybe the next
Exactly.
week or 2 weeks.
Exactly. And then as a couple, okay, what do we want next month to look like? Because again, you do want to make sure that you're taking into consideration how you're feeling, but life goes on and you want to have things in place to keep your energy going. Plan a trip together where they wouldn't be going there anyway.
Maybe something to look forward
Yes.
to.
Absolutely. Something to look forward
6
to.
months
That's
out,
what we
six,
talked
yeah, 6 months ago, we decided we planned a trip for this October to go to Hawaii.
That's
So
It's
lovely.
kind of like a
looking forward
second
to that.
honeymoon. It's like you're
And-
dating all over again. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like there's this
Yeah, we
rebirth
do.
for your relationship?
We actually have talked about being a lot more spontaneous for trips. We're like, why don't we check and see what's available down in the port this weekend to take a weekend cruise and just go. I mean, we
Nice.
don't have to worry about anything anymore, other than our dogs. I mean,
And what's working between them, you can see it here, we can all feel it, is that they talk about it. This is
Yeah.
very much a team effort. It's not, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, yeah, you're with me. Okay, so what do you want to do? They talk about these things. That's really important.
So communication is absolutely key.
So
Okay.
Dr. Coles and our couples, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And the Texas Love Doc, if you want to connect with her, you can reach her website at texasrelationshiptherapy.com.